Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. We see a woman is carrying her child in the empty streets of London and finds herself in front of a local orphanage. She gives him a necklace and a letter and leaves her small baby on the doorstep. The story then jumps forward by 12 years and we are introduced to Peter. He is 12 years old and lives in a very crowded boys' orphanage. He was abandoned as a small child, and since then his only family has been the other orphaned boys and the horrible nuns who run the entire orphanage. Peter likes to get into trouble a lot. He often pulls pranks on the nuns and is very mischievous. Peter hates the head nun so much because she is cruel and downright annoying, and he thinks that she is the reason why everything is so horrible in the orphanage. Then we see Peter and his best friend Nibs talking about her during lunch. They also notice that each day more orphans disappear from the orphanage without explanation. Peter thinks that the head nun is responsible for the orphans going missing, and he also has a theory that she is keeping all the good food for herself and her employees while the children starve. One day, during an air raid of warplanes, the entire orphanage is evacuated and all the orphans and the nuns take shelter in a safe house, but Peter and his friend Nibs hide and stay behind. Soon after that, they go to the head nun's main office because Peter thinks that she is most definitely hiding some food. There the two boys start to explore the office, while the head nun notices that Peter is missing. She knows that he is up to something as he's the main troublemaker. Peter then spots a statue of the Virgin Mary and starts to play around with it, and by accident he opens a trap door and Nibs falls in. They discover that their theory, he was correct. The head nun has a bunch of food and supplies in her secret room. The two of them start to explore and find a bunch of letters and lists of orphans. They also find records showing that 34 orphans have gone missing, and Nibs finds one of the records that is talking about Peter. They uncover a letter written by his mother, and Peter gets a most gentle as Nibs reveals that Peter's mother loved him very much and said he's special. Just as they are about to finish the letter, loud gunshots and blasts or heard. The head nun has found them and they are about to be punished. She insults Peter and tells him that he isn't special at all and nobody cares about him, and gives really difficult choice to Peter and Nibs as punishment. Peter and Nibs are now convinced that the nun has been selling the orphans, and that is why she has so much food. All the orphans disappeared during the night, and Peter thinks that the same could happen to them at some point. Well, that happens even sooner than Peter expected. That same night, the nun hoists a giant pirate flag on the orphanage, and from the roof pirates burst in and start kidnapping children. The pirates are ruthless, and they take away everyone needs gets taken away, and he screams as the pirate pulls him into the air. Peter lands on the floor and tries to remain unseen beneath the beds. He then finally sees the exit and runs for it, but the head nun and awaits him and punches him into the hands of the pirates. Peter and Nibs are now on a giant flying ship. They are joined by many of the kidnapped orphan boys and also the ruthless pirate crew. Nibs notices that the roof of the orphanage is still nearby, so he jumps off the ship onto the roof. Peter is just too scared of heights, so he isn't fortunately taken away and separated from his friend. At the same time, the Nazi Air Force is attacking London. Nearby fighter jets notice a giant pirate ship flying around. They try to fire on it, but the pirate ship is just too fast for them. The pirate ship flies high into the sky, and it leaves our dimension. We see it leave for space, where Peter and the rest of the crew float, as there is no gravity, and they enter a totally new dimension. This dimension has a very magical island, and it's called Neverland. Peter notices how everything is totally different from London, because there are flying oceans and strange creatures everywhere. He also sees a vicious alligator that scares him. The pirate ship arrives at a giant mining prison, and Peter finds himself in the company of countless other orphan boys. All of those children have been kidnapped over the years, and now they work as miners for fairy dust. The imprisoned workers start to celebrate the new rivals, and Peter is introduced to the fierce black bear. He's the main leader of this entire operation, and the most horrific pirate. He welcomes the new workers to his mining operation, but everybody is afraid of Blackbeard, and it's obvious that he isn't a sane person. Blackbeard then reads the rules. You have to work hard to be rewarded, and if you fail you will be punished. Peter starts to work that very same day. He's now a miner, and the work is hard. There are orphans of all ages and races at the mines, and Peter is very curious about this entirely new world. Peter gets to talking with one of the pirates, and he still can't believe that magical creatures like fairies are actually real in this world. Peter also meets an older miner, but he is a bit brash and cold toward Peter. This minute tells Peter that he needs to work and not ask so many questions. Later in the day, he starts to spend time with the unfriendly miner. Peter has a lot of questions for him, but doesn't get any clear answers. This miner helps sharpen Peter's pickaxe and explains that he has been working at the mines for 14 years. He doesn't want to spend any more time with Pete and tells him that they are not friends and that he should get lost. Peter continues his work at the mine. After a hard day of mining, he manages to finally find a fairy dust rock, and he's so happy and proud of himself. Another miner arrives and takes the rock for himself. This miner brags that he in fact was the one who found the rock, but Peter starts to protest and gets into a fight. He's now captured and is prepared to be punished with other workers. Before the ceremony of execution, we see Blackbeard talking with one of his pirates. Blackbeard is furious as the savage natives of Neverland have been attacking his ships for far too long. He knows that there is barely any fairy dust in the mines, and he wants the savages defeated and to claim their land for himself. Blackbeard goes outside to punish the orphans who have misbehaved. All of them are forced to walk up playing on a ship high in the sky. Blackbeard is very ruthless, and he asks all the other miners to decide if Peter and the other kids will be punished. All of the miner his vote that they should die. So Blackbeard starts kicking kids off the plate, and when he arrives to face Peter, Peter still tries to explain that he's innocent, but Blackbeard doesn't listen. Peter has kicked off the plank, and he falls down into the pit. Suddenly Peter starts to float. All the miners are surprised, and nobody can believe what just happened. Peter is so happy that he is alive, and also that he can fly. As soon as he starts to celebrate, his new powers go away, and he falls down. After a while, he wakes up in Blackbeard's room on the ship. Blackbeard appears, and he seems to be much nicer than before. He talks with Peter in a calm voice and explains the entire situation. Blackbeard wants to connect with Peter, so he gives him some chocolate. He then explains that Peter is very special and that he thinks he is part of an ancient prophecy. In the ancient past, the fairy kingdom was the main force in Neverland. Their prophecy said that a boy would disappear from Neverland and then return when he is old enough. This boy is very special, and he will lead the revolution that will end the reign of Blackbeard and his pirates, and this special boy will be able to fly. Peter thinks that this story is too crazy and doesn't fancy himself as someone special. Peter tells Blackbeard that he doesn't want to cause any problems and that he will not start any revolutions for a moment. Blackbeard seemingly believes Peter, but still decides to lock him up in a prison cell. The miner that Peter met before realizes that Peter might be his ticket out of the cursed mines. He blows up the walls of the prison and sets Peter free, but only on one condition, and that Peter has to help this miner escape. The miner reveals that his real name is James Hook, and that he is a good guy who just wants to be free. He is an orphan the same as Peter, and he just wants his freedom from Blackbeard. The two of the manager daring escape, and also get the help of another miner called Mr. Smee. They finally find a very old pirate ship called the Jolly Roger. They jump on the ship and fly away, escaping the rest of the pirates' sleep neighbors. Their next goal is to find the tribe of the Neverland natives and get their help, but the natives actually capture Peter and his new crew. The leader of the natives is a woman called Tiger Lily, and the natives now want to test Hook against someone called Pan. This Pan is the greatest warrior in their tribe, James, and Pan start their fight, and James barely survives. The tribe members realize that Peter can fly, and he also has a special necklace. This is the same necklace that was given to him by his mother before she left him, and in actuality, this necklace is called the Pan. The natives give Peter 3 days to train and prepare for his final test. He will either master the A or the flight, or he will die. Peter starts to train and spend time with the natives. On the second day of training, the pirates arrive and started attacking the camp. We see that Mr. Smee is actually a traitor, and he's the one behind the attack. And in the pirate attack, Tiger Lily, his father is killed. He was the chief of the tribe, but before his death, he reveals to Peter that his mother was killed by Blackbeard. Peter and James, Hook, and Tiger Lily are the only ones that escaped the pirate attack, and they decide to travel to a place called Mermaid Lagoon. This is the safest place for them to hide, and James finds another flying ship. There James decides that he will leave with the flying ship, but Tiger Lily gets angry at him and calls him a coward. Peter decides that he will stay with Tiger Lily and try to defeat Blackbeard. While that is happening, we see that Blackbeard has found more fairies, and using the fairy dust, he has made himself live longer. Blackbeard then leads his pirates to the fairy land, and after stealing Peter's necklace, he unlocks land of the fairies, and their powers. Tiger Lily and Peter are captured by Blackbeard men. While captured, they meet Tinkerbell, a fairy, who tells him to hide from Blackbeard. Blackbeard is totally out of control and starts to burn the fairy's cook, then arrives on the Jolly Roger and starts a giant battle with the pirate ships. Peter finally masters his powers and starts to fly. James, Hook, falls off the ledge, but Peter flies in and saves him, and he also saves Tiger Lily from certain death. During the battle, Blackbeard also fell over the edge, and it finally seems that he has died. After the giant battle is over, Peter goes back to his orphanage. He offers some of the orphan boys to join his squad and that they can have many adventures in Neverland. This group of orphans is led by Peter, and they are called the Lost Boys. Peter and Hook are now great friends, and Hook has begun a romance with Tiger Lily, and they fly on a pirate ship toward their new adventure. Thanks for watching, take care, and see you in the next video back. I'm APAC, and no to show for wow we was kind of. Now the movie is end. Thanks for watching.